Welcome back to the Cossy Arsenal channel. My name is Cossy. Welcome back to a brand new video. Noni Madueke has arrived in London ahead of his medicals, which will happen over the weekend. Documents have also been exchanged between Arsenal and Chelsea as per Fabrizio Romano. Medicals happening this weekend. Player announcement coming this week. Noni Madueke is an Arsenal player, and I don't know what you feel, but yes, it is happening and it is a done deal. So Fabrizio Romano has just confirmed that Arsenal and Chelsea have now completed the documents exchange for Noni Madueke deal. Agreement sealed. Madueke will undergo his medical over the weekend and then sign a 5-year deal at Arsenal. 52 million deal done as exclusively revealed yesterday. Noni Madueke was given permission to fly to London and do his medicals by Chelsea, and this was reported 2 hours ago by David Stein. Madueke is in London and he's going to be doing his medicals this weekend, as we've got from Fabrizio Romano. Documents exchanged, 52 million, and that is your Arsenal team. And these are my honest thoughts about Noni Madueke to Arsenal. I'm going to look at the positives. I'm going to look at the negatives. I don't want to be the negative guy over Madueke. Maybe Madueke becomes like Kevin De Bruyne. Maybe becomes like Mo Salah. Maybe. I'm saying maybe because, Arsenal have never signed one Chelsea player that has gone on to blossom, that has gone on to win anything for this football club. Like Gallas, Willian, Jorginho. We've never signed a Chelsea player and they've become Salah. We've never signed a Chelsea player and they've become Kevin De Bruyne. So maybe Arsenal are still in that deliberation and they're like, we want a Salah from Chelsea. We want a Kevin De Bruyne from Chelsea. But if we want these players, if we want this kind of profiles, I think we're getting it wrong. I mean, yes, players struggle at Chelsea, but you get the players that are promising. I don't think Arsenal are picking promising players from Chelsea. I think we are picking failed projects from Chelsea and trying to resuscitate them, which is actually not working. Has not worked in the past. Is not working now. Is not going to work in the future. Now, the first thing I want to say between Arsenal and Chelsea. Chelsea, thank you so much. Thank you so much, because Arsenal don't have players. Like, we don't have a scouting network. Thank you so much for giving us players all the time. We are grateful, right? But please stop. This should be the last deal I ever hear of Arsenal and Chelsea doing, because I don't know. The next time they come, they're going to take Noni. The next deal they do, I heard that Chelsea are interested in Ethan Nwaneri and Max Downman. They want to take the creme de la creme, the best of the best, right? And what happens to Arsenal? We take the failed profiles, the failed players, the struggling players at Chelsea, to the extent that we even signed Raheem Sterling, making it the worst signing Arsenal have ever done in recent and faraway history. So this should be the last deal that Arsenal ever approached Chelsea for a player. Thank you so much, Arsenal and Chelsea. You've got a very good relationship, but this should be the last deal I ever see these two lunatics, idiots, do. Because I'm tired of it. I'm really tired of it. And I speak for every Arsenal fan when we say, Mikel Arteta, you either you can leave and open up a team called Chelsea BFC, or you can stop signing players for Chelsea and work on proper signings. Arsenal amuse me. We are working with a team, we are signing players from a team that doesn't even have a proper scouting network. Like, these guys just wake up and they, employ their scattergun approach and they have players. That is the team we are actually going for. I wouldn't mind if Arsenal went to Liverpool and said, we want Harvey Elliott. What happened to that? Liverpool are willing to let go of Harvey Elliott. Liverpool are willing to let go of Joao Quanch at 30 million, and we need a centre back. Why do we never do these deals? Why do we never do these deals? Right? Go to Liverpool and sign Harvey Elliott. Go to Liverpool and sign, because he's a number 10, very creative guy, very good player. I would appreciate that. Why don't we go to Liverpool and sign Joao Quanch? Right? Why do we never do these deals? Why don't we tell Konate that you want to go out of Liverpool at Arsenal? We are open, but no, we shall tell Willian, it's rubbish. It's rubbish. We shall tell Willian your contract's running up at Chelsea. Why don't you give us 3 years at Arsenal? Like what? Are we looking to upgrade or are we looking to downgrade? So this should be the last deal. Thank you, Arsenal and Chelsea. You guys have got very good relations building teams, but this is enough. It's enough, right? Now, Madueke is in London. He's gonna do his medicals. Documents have been exchanged. We're not going back on this, right? We are not going back on this. I'm not going to sit here and say, hey guys, the Madueke deal might actually collapse. It's not collapsing. So he's an Arsenal player. Madueke is an Arsenal player. There is nothing to do about it. What are the real positives I want to focus on this deal? I'm not going to talk about the negatives a lot because everyone is spitting facts about the negatives and they're spitting facts. But these are the little positives. If anyone is interested in listening, please listen. Right? The first thing you're going to get with Noni Madueke, and maybe Arsenal looked into this, is a player that could break into the Arsenal starting 11 in the future. And maybe this is because Mikel Arteta believes that Ethan Nwaneri, Gabriel Martinelli, all of them deserve a chance. Maybe believes that all of them deserve a chance, and therefore he signs Noni Madueke, who's at the same level as these guys, to try and give them a chance. And for me, I would prefer to see Nwaneri start over Madueke. I would prefer to see Martinelli start over Madueke because they deserve to be ahead of him. I mean, to sign a player for £50 million, while you have Gabriel Martinelli, who didn't cost a lot, and you have Ethan Nwaneri, who didn't cost anything, it doesn't mean that this guy has to start over them. It doesn't have to, right? But he can push Martinelli. He can push Nwaneri for them to be better players and probably push Saka as well. The second point, obviously, for me, is that second 11. Now, Arsenal is a team that don't do well in cup competitions. And the reason for that is in our history, by the way, right from Arsene Wenger. The reason why Arsenal don't do well very well in cup competitions is Mikel Arteta and every manager we have at the team always wants to play that second team, right? And Arsenal's second team last season has been quite very, very weak because we reached a time when we wanted to add an attacking outlet on the pitch and Kieran Tierney was the player we were turning to, right? So Noni Madueke now makes it another player that joins the Arsenal second team. And that makes him not such a very bad signing. So if we think about the Arsenal second 11 now, you've got Kepa, who's a decent signing, a decent goalkeeper, can start a couple of games. Let's say if Arsenal played Bournemouth in the FA Cup, Kepa can actually start, right? At right back, you have Ben White or Julian Timber. Any of the two is a quality option. If Mikel wants to play Timber, he's a quality option. If Mikel wants to play Timber, he's White or Timber. Those are very, very quality options, right? Then left back, let's say Calafiori for now. Let's say Calafiori, left back. And then center back, you have Kivio. That we're talking about the second 11, right? And then alongside Kivio, you'd actually play maybe Mosquera if he comes in, because Tomiyasu would have played there, but he's now injured. And then in midfield, you play Christian Nogard. Alongside Christian Nogard, you could have Mikel Merino, obviously. And then in the creative role, if Eze comes in, then you have Eze, right? That is the second 11. In attack, Madueke on the right, Nwaneri as well, and Kai Havertz, right? So I think in terms of squad building, I can see what Arsenal are trying to do. But it's not the right thing to do to sign Madueke, because again, if you want a backup and if you want Madueke for squad building purposes, there's so many players, there's so many options that we could have got for less than £50 million. Yeah? For less than £50 million. But I think that for Arsenal to go to the next level, we've got to stop doing rubbish signings, right? And I think Mikel Arteta for me has a lot of uncontrolled powers at the club, and they need to be checked. To be honest, like if you sign Madueke and you sign Gigino and you sign Kai Havertz, and none of them, let's say, works, you don't go back to Chelsea to beg for their leftovers, right? I think Mikel has done well in some instances. I think as a manager, I'm proud of him. But there's some things that he has done, I'm like, no, I'm not proud of that. This Madueke deal is one of the things that I'm not proud of as a Mikel Arteta fan. And I'll still back Mikel Arteta. I think he's my manager. I love him. I respect him. I adore him. Bloody hell, I adore him. He's a bloody good manager. But he's got to do better than this. He's got to do better than this. If you're going to have to be a good manager, a great manager for a great club, you need to know when am I building and when am I, trying to win. I think Arsenal are trying to win right now. That is what I think. I don't know, because the club has its own agenda always. We might say Arsenal are trying to win, blah, blah, blah. And Arsenal saying, we are not trying to win. We are trying to, stay competitive. But if we want to win, then Madueke is not the kind of signing you go for, honestly. He's not the kind of signing you go for. Not on Monday, not on Tuesday, not on Wednesday, not on Thursday. You don't go for Noni Madueke if you actually want to win. But like I said, there are a couple of positives. His age, I don't know. But like Mikel has said, he can actually transform him. But can he really, right? That is also like a real question, right? Can he really transform Noni Madueke? Because I don't know. Because if this goes catastrophically wrong, Chelsea will have done something impeccable, right? They got Noni Madueke for like 35 million. They've sold him to Arsenal for 50 million. And Arsenal are going to sell him at a loss. Like, we are going to make a loss that Chelsea would have made. We're going to make a loss on Chelsea's behalf. So this has to work. This has to work. Mikel Arteta is just adding more pressure to himself. Unnecessary pressure. Like real unnecessary pressure. You don't have to go for one of the worst signings in the world. You don't have to. He didn't have to. And it's just created unnecessary pressure.